There's too much sun. Just like that. Keep the sun out of our eyes. Yes. Absolutely. So we're just going to wait for a couple of more people to come into our chat. Welcome. So we're just waiting on a few more people to come into our chat before we get started. Welcome to High Oracles Reiki Spiritual Healing Channel. Welcome, guys. So we are going to go ahead and get started with this video on blockages, on blockage rituals versus uncrossing rituals. And a lot of people do not know the difference. They think that they are the same, and they are totally different. And I have been working with a lot of you on my Amazon accounts, picking out the best possible rituals and materials for you to use. So I thought that I would give you this understanding so that you know the difference in what those obstacles are in your life. Many times you have health blockages. You'll have belief blockages. You'll have money blockages. You'll be rejected in life. You will have those types of blockages. And what you have to do, we're going to use a ritual. There are certain herbs, there are certain prayers that we will go through in order to remove those blockages, those hindrances, those psychic attacks out of your mind that has been attached to you by family or close relations that you've had with people. Okay? Please, guys, hit the like button, please. It helps with the algorithm. So we're understanding that these mental blockages that you have, they will cause stagnation in your life. They will cause problems in your relationships on your job. And they will ultimately lead to blockages with your money, with people moving forward in life. So those have to be addressed as stumbling blockages that have been placed there either by you or by someone else. So when we start to address the blockages in your life, then we're getting a blockage remover. We're getting the obstacle remover. We're getting a blockbuster. Okay, so that's one of the things that we need to understand. There are prayers that goes along with these types of rituals, these cleansing rituals of the blockages out of your life. Sometimes there are people that are in your lives, marriages, boyfriends, girlfriends, that are blockages, that are hindrances to you, blocking your potential. So you have to make sure that you're choosing the right ritual. And we'll come back to the blockages, the blockage cleansers that we can use in one moment. Hi, Yaja Kamur. I think I said your name right. Welcome. Please hit the like button, guys. Thank you. So uncrossing is when you are removing the negative energy from cross conditions that has been sent by people that you have encountered, people in your family, multiple people who are spiritual narcissists, who have sent different types of attacks to your body. So in reality, when I'm dealing them to remove the negative energy out of their life, then in many cases I will always start with uncrossing, because you're able to see the different types of hexes and curses that someone has sent over your life. You're able to identify those hexes and curses, those spells, and the person who has sent them, because once that energy frequency has been disrupted, once energy frequency has been removed from you, then those people who have sent that type of negative energy to you, they want to reattach that. They want to reattach that negative frequency back into your life. So this is how I am able to, see the negative hexes and curses, those spells that I've sent to you. This is one of the first cleanses that I'm going to use. I'm going to give you the prayer to uncross your life, and you're going to be expected to pray these prayers. You're going to be expected, in the uncrossing phase, in order to see these higher spirits and demons that have been dispatched to your life. You're going to be required to fast. So if you're not using a spiritual healing method, or if you do not know the spiritual healing rituals, then in many cases it's easy for people to start off with the wrong thing first. Start off with a blockage remover, a blockage cleanser. And for my people who have been reaching out to me, using the Amazon, using the Seven Sisters oil, then this is what I have recommended for a lot of you. And, if you want to get those types of rituals, you can just reach out to me, in the description of this video. And I'll be happy to, when you book your consultation, to, recommend what is going on in your life, which one you will need, either a blockage remover or an uncrossing. So uncrossing can also remove any kind of hexes that have been sent to your health. It can remove the hexes that of the evil eye. Those people who are envious of you and jealous of you, it can remove those types of evil eye mental health problems that they've tried to dispatch to your life. Okay, so in many cases, uncrossing is to uncross any kind of negative energy sent out from multiple different people, warlocks and witches that you've encountered, things that you've stepped over that you didn't know was meant for you, things on your job, things in your community where people have laid tricks for you. It is meant to uncross those types of negative higher spirits or energy that has been dispatched to you, and it's meant to identify those people. It's meant to identify those spirits that have gone over into your life. So the next thing that we want to do, once we start to, once we've identified these people, then we want to also cleanse this negative energy. So that's when, after, a month and a half or so that we've uncrossed these people, we got a roster of who's been coming around trying to monitor, who's been coming to the house trying to, reattach those demons and those spells, dump those demons and those spells off in our life, on our car, on those types of, higher spirits that they want to go over into our life. Once we have identified them through the uncrossing, then we want to move on to something, more progressive, like, the blockbuster that they have sent, the blockage cleanser, the blockage remover. So this is what we have been using for our people who have reached out to me through Amazon, the followers and the clients who have reached out to me and they have booked their consultations. And like I say, I want to make the experience for you, so that you will be able to afford the cleansing, and you will be able to have the information that you need in order to move forward with this type of cleansing. So when people have sent different kinds of spells to you, when you have been blocked, let's say that you've been blocked in your life, a mental block, and you were not able to get through college. You were not able to think clearly in school. So you ended up dropping out and quitting. So that is a blockage that needs to be addressed in your life, because that will ultimately mean that you will not be able to complete anything in life. You will have, a mental capacity blockage when it comes to thinking of things in an analytical way. Okay, so I had to get that out for you guys. So make sure that, you're addressing these issues that you've had, these blockages that may have been sent to you from family, people, siblings that were competing with you, people in your neighborhood, people in your school that were competing with you, that were sending these types of blockages to your life. They never wanted you to outdo them. You also will have those people, those friends, those family members who are competing with you in the love life. If you were, having a girlfriend or a boyfriend, and you had multiple people who were in competition with you, trying to take that male from you, trying to take that female from you, then you will have those people who are sending blockages to your love life. You will have people who have been in relationships with you who do not want you in a relationship with anyone else. This especially happens with the males. When they want things to go wrong for you, then they will create these blockages. They will send these obstacles. They will keep you in the court system. They will, try to intimidate people in your life. So now we also have to talk about, while we're on this subject of blockages, cleansing these types of blockages out your life. There are different types of cleanses. And I wanted you to be aware of that, because a lot of people think that they can just go and, get something and that is not going to help the situation. And in this capacity where you've been blocked on your feet, you will have to have, what I recommend is a reversing foot wash, where the stagnation and the blockages that have been sent to your life, you're sending those return to sender, so that you can identify the person and further remove those blockages that have been sent. So there are different rituals that you will need to understand when you are removing the blockages. You will have people certainly that are in competition with you on the job. And if you are hating to go to work because people are so mean to you, that means that someone has sent a higher spirit of rejection to your finances, to your life. It can also mean that this blockage has been placed there, by the universe. So you come out of those jobs and you start to build your own brand. Okay. So that's just for some of you who have been through these jobs, and you just, every time you go to work, you just feel disgusted. Okay. I've been there. I've been there. That's what led me to leave and retire at 35. Okay, so now we are understanding a different type of blockage in our life as well. When you're having problems, blockages, with housing, when you're having problems finding work, then someone may have sent blockages to your feet, so you cannot have a house. You're homeless. You're having problems, unless you decided to be homeless on your own. Then that is a blockage that you need to address, that you cannot provide for yourself with your finances, and you cannot provide food, water, shelter, that you'll never be able to have a family life. You'll never be able to move forward in life. This may trigger some of you because some of you are going through this right now. Okay, so you're going to be able to use the blockage remover. There's a difference in a blockage cleanser and a blockage remover. There's a difference in the blockage remover, the blockage cleanser, and the blockbuster. Okay, so when you're removing these types of blockages out of your life, you want to use a ritual, and at different times you want to use all three. When you're using an uncrossing, there is a difference in an uncrossing and an uncrossing foot bath. Okay, where your legs are stagnated, your feet are stagnated, and it is different in a money uncrossing where your hands are tied and your hands are stagnated. So this is why it's important for you to reach out to me, to know the difference, so that you can get the best results when you're cleansing yourself from these types of attacks up on your life. There is a understanding that you must know how to be able to pray, because if somebody has sent a stagnation, if someone has crossed your health through your stomach, then you're going to need to reach out to me to get that negative energy out of you, to uncross you, to identify the person that has, sent those blockages and sent that poison to your system. So that is why you will need a spiritual healer in that respect, in that regard. Okay, because these types of blockages and uncrossing is totally different. It's totally different. When you made it to the stage to unblock yourself, to remove the blockages, that health problem, that stagnation that's in your shoulder, that's on your left side, that nagging pain that's in your chest, that people have been attacking your health. People have been attacking your body, your left side, so that nothing goes right for you, and they're controlling your blessings. They're siphoning your blessings from your right side. Okay, so this is why you need the spiritual healer in order to discern what's going on with you, what's going on in the spiritual realm with you, which of these blockages or uncrossing oils that you will need, uncrossing baths, uncrossing rituals, what you will need in your life. If you have been doing the work, a lot of people just reach out to me if they already know how to do some spiritual cleansing and they run into a blockage. they'll reach out to me in a consultation, and I will be able to work with them during the consultation in order to tell them what they need to get to remove that blockage that they've hit that wall. Okay. So this is why you want to be able to understand there can be blockages, on your children. The blockages on your children, and we've been discussing this, where there are other family members that are trying to control your children and turn their minds against you. That is a mental blockage. That is also, you're going to have to cleanse that type of blockage that they've sent to your children. You're going to have to use an uncrossing, salt. So there are different uncrossing ways that you will have to remove the blockages and uncross yourselves from the negative energy that has been sent, and the negative energy, the blockages that you have contributed to and made in your life. Certainly, if you are having problems, and a lot of the males reach out to me because I've been sending them to Amazon to get specific, herbs and rituals. We're going through certain herbs and rituals with the males who have been having problems with their genitalia because they've slept with a lot of women. They have been using different types of, I don't know what those blue pills are. I forgot what they are. But they've been using those types of pills, and it's been damaging, their health. It's been damaging them. The drugs that they've been using, the alcohol. So we have to cleanse that negative energy. That is a blockage that has been sent to you by the multiple souls that you have attached to you from sleeping with so many people. The same thing with women. I've had to, stop women from telling lies to me about how many men they've been with, so we can get that negative energy off of them, and they're not having problems with their genitalia. Okay, so there are people that will send blockages to your bottoms. There are people that will send blockages to your health. All of these types of blockages will need to be uncrossed first. If you have, if you have been with, 10 people, then we're going to have to do an uncrossing for those people, because they may have sent uncrossing. May have sent crossing to your legs, to your health. They may have tried to blind you so that, you only see them. Okay, so now you get the gist of what I'm saying. So for every spell and hex that they have sent out towards you, it has to be uncrossed. It has to be uncrossed. So when people, when you have those energy vampires in your life, and they have been siphoning your energy, you're always tired. You don't want to get up out the bed. You don't want to go to work. You don't want to do anything. You don't want to live life anymore. Okay. So that's someone that is siphoning your energy. That is someone that is close to you. And you will have to make sure that this is also not just an energy attack. It's a mental attack. It is a physical attack upon your health. You will have to use an uncrossing, to uncross those areas that I've just mentioned. Okay, so that this is a process. This is not something that you just go and do for one time. This is not a one-time show. This is something, and this is why I wanted to give you this understanding, because people will go to Amazon. You haven't, booked your sessions with me, but you will reach out to me, book your consultations, and you will think that, it's just a one-time. You're going to get everything that you need from Amazon this one time, and it's over. And then you start having that buildup in your left shoulder where you have identified the hex. You've identified the curse or the spell that has been sent to you and is sitting on your left shoulder to be removed. It has to be removed. Once you've identified the persons, you cannot stop there. You may have that type of blockage, and this is what you need to understand. You may have the type of blockage after you have uncrossed yourself, where your bowels are block, where someone has sent negative energy to your health, blockages to your bowels. Okay, that needs to be removed, and that has to go internally now. You cannot just, use something, or you're going to have to use the entire ritual. You're going to have to, stop eating so much and go ahead and fast for 3 days. You're going to have to use, the blockage oils. You're going to have to use all three in many cases. If you're having that blockage to your heart, that blockage to your bowels, that means that someone has fed you something. Okay? So we want to make sure that we are cleansing this type of negative energy out of our bodies, and people often they call me and they say, well, I've done this, and this, or I've been to this person and this person. And when I say, did they have you fast for 3 days? Okay, because if you have been with, some women, if you have been with men, it doesn't matter what kind of ritual you're going to use if you're not using the spiritual methods, if you're not fasting, if you're not praying, if you're not repenting, if you're not asking God for, the mercy up on your life. So in many cases, if you allow these types of blockages to remain on your left side and you do not address it, just because, it has moved off of your legs, you have felt the oppression move, but now you feel it on your left side, that means that it's waiting for you to go ahead and finish this ritual. You need to know how to carry out the rest of the ritual, because you removed the hex. You've identified the hex, and now it is on your shoulder. Now it is on your heart. Now it is, moving between your lower back and your legs and between your shoulders. It has to be removed. You must finish the ritual. Okay. Hi, 6-7. Hi. So we are going to make sure that you are cleansing and finishing the cleansing method when you're using the uncrossing. You're going to finish the cleansing method when you're using the blockbuster. And when you're finished with the uncrossing, then you're going to remove those blockages out of your life. Okay, so in many cases, you're going to have to know how to do that. Okay, and so that's why I've made it so much more easier for you guys to reach out to me on my website. Reach out to me in an email. All of my information is in my description. And then you can go and I will recommend what you will need to get from Amazon in order to cleanse this negative energy, in order to close out the ritual. And then you will see that blockage that's on your left side. You will see it be removed. You will see that, those hard pebbles of bowel movements will come out of your system that has in many cases been there since you were children, where your family members have, giving you something toxic. A lot of you in relationships with these women and men that have set up on you, have fed you something in your system. So, we were talking about on one occasion vabbing, women putting, their discharge, men putting their discharge, those are blockages that they have been binding you to them. That will have to be removed out of your system. So this is why you're feeling, and I just wanted to make sure that you understand, this is why you're feeling that tension on your left side that keeps moving from your neck, into your shoulder, that's moving, sometimes for some of you into your brain, into your mind. Those are rituals that you completed. This is what they're sending. They wanted to mentally control you. They've sent hexes and curses, higher spirits. And so this is how we identify those types of attacks. We have ways to remove those types of attacks through the uncrossing and through the blockbuster. But you always want to do an uncrossing. You always want to do that before you do a blockage remover. You always want to do that first. And I have to let you guys know, you always have to go through the ritual. If you do not know the ritual, you need to reach out to someone who's experienced, because you do not want to do a ritual and uncross yourself and identify an experienced warlock or witch in your life, and they have become obsessed with you. Then everything starts breaking. Your car starts breaking because they're going to, renew that spell over you. They're going to send that higher spirit back to you. Once you identify that person who has sent that spell to you, your generation, your body, who's attacking you on your job or in your neighborhood, then you have to, make sure that you're carrying through and you're finishing the ritual. You have to make sure that you're shielding yourself with the full armor of God once you reach that point. You cannot say, okay, well, I see them and this person is coming, and every time this person comes, that they're dumping a spirit off in my house, and but I love them because they have a title. No, this is not how this works. That means that they're going to set up on you, to run a process of unaliving, a slow process of unaliving. You have given them permission to harm you, to harm your generation. You're going to have lack, scarcity. You're going to have problems. Your children are going to have problems when you do not finish the process. That is why it is important that you know the rituals or the methods, or you reach out to me. Okay? So these are the differences that I have been giving to you. And, let's just, look at a little bit of something, before we get out of here. And I wanted you to have this type of understanding in your life, that the emotional blockages that people have sent to you, those are psychic attacks from the evil eye. Those are people who have set up on you. And if you do not, identify them, identify the spell and the hexes, it's going to go into generational curses. If you do not break it, if you do not, continue the cleansing process until you no longer can feel the oppressive spirit on you, until you know that it has backfired and returned to sender, then it's going to continue to carry out, disaster in your life. So this is one of the ways that I wanted to just give you this understanding. And, just give me one moment while I pull it up. And you're going to see the behavioral patterns when you are under a curse and a hex. You're going to see the behavioral chronic fatigue, chronic health problems, problems with your children, problems in your marriage, your relationship, unable to conceive. Okay, so you're going to be able to see the physical problems. You're going to have problems with your legs and your back. You're going to have mind fog. You might have, problems with your eyes because someone has placed a blockage or a veil over your eyes. Okay, so we have this problem right here that we're correcting, that you just cannot just go run and get certain things until you know what you're doing, until you have identified the problem. You have identified not only the problem, but the persons who have sent that spell or that hex to your life. Whether it is a mother, whether you want to see it or not, whether it is a father, a sibling, an uncle, or an aunt. When the spirit has identified that person that's been coming around, that hasn't, ever came up for you, came and helped you with anything, but now all of a sudden they're coming around that you're cleansing, then that is the person that you have identified. And you've also identified the spell and the type of hex when you feel it on your left side. You've identified that spell or that blockage when you feel it on your left side, whether they have sent a blockage to your heart. Okay, some of you have blockages on your heart. You have heart problems. whether they have sent, again, mental problems to you, blockages on your mental health. Some of them have sent blockages to your genitalia. Some of them have sent the blockages to your feet. And last but not least, and this is a lot of what I get, why people reach out to me for this, people have sent blockages to them moving forward in life, their hands, their money, their finances. Okay, so all of these has to be addressed. All of these have to be addressed with uncrossing. You cannot, just uncross one. You have to uncross all of these types of curses and hexes that have been sent to you throughout your life by different people before you're going to see that spirit lift up off of you. So, it's not just a one-time thing. You're going to have to, do different things. You're going to have to reach out to me so I can, recommend what you need. You're going to have to tell me what you've been, doing to cleanse the negative energy so that you can understand if your body has become immune to what you have been doing. So this is why you need the spiritual healer. So, I really appreciate all of you guys' support. I really thank all of you for reaching out to me, and especially a lot of the men, because a lot of the men do not like to talk about their genitalia. They would rather talk to me about it than go to the doctor. So, these are some of the things that we have been working on for the followers, for my clients. And, I really appreciate your trust. I really appreciate your support. And we can definitely remove these types of attacks off of your body, out of your mind, out of all of these areas, and get you going into the right direction again. Get your money flowing, get your job in the right place again. Get you to making your own business. Get your relationships right in your family, in society, with your children. So this is what this is designed to do. This is why I wanted to cover this for you, so that you understand that both of them are not the same. You will have to start off with, an uncrossing. Okay, and you can reach out to me for your rituals. You can reach out to me for the waters, the baths, or whatever level that you're working on if you're experienced, so that I can give you some pointers on what you need to do to further remove any kind of negative energy that is affecting your life. So I hope that you received this message. I really thank you guys for all of your support. I appreciate all of you who are my subscribers, who are my followers. I thank all of you for your questions. Please make sure you're leaving your comments. Send me an email. Let me know how I'm doing. Let me know how the rituals has worked for you, so that we can continue to remove this negative energy and shield you and your family from those higher spirits and attachments. And I thank you for all of your support. Please like, share, and subscribe to me. Donate to my channel. Book your one-on-one life coaching sessions or your video chat sessions. You can also book your consultations so that I can acclimate a gift to your situation. I'm High Oracle, Reiki spiritual healer. Assalamu alaikum.